back to my channel. My name is Mandy and I'm a full-time reseller. On today's video, I do have another what sold. These will be from, what do I have here? The end of April, early May. I picked 42 of them, mainly style-based, some brands. I think there is a bundle in there and a couple long tail items that I maybe would not pick up again. If you're new to the channel, I go through all of my listings pretty quickly. I show you my cover shot, my actual listing, so you can see my title and description. I do a brief summary of maybe where I got it, and maybe some keywords that I used to sell it. I normally tell you how long I've had the item. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on Flip, but my Depop sales, like after a certain amount of time, it's like deleting it off Flip, so I don't have the information of when I listed it. I could go back in my spreadsheets and look, but it's a little bit too time consuming. So all the Depop ones, if I kind of have an idea, I'll let you know. As far as other notes that I have written down, if you are a Flip user or you're interested in Flip, I do have my code down below, but they are working on getting Vinted put on. I know that there's been some talk that, or at least I've seen it in Facebook groups, that Vinted has kicked sellers off for using any type of automation. So I don't know what they're gonna do to not make it look like automation. I would maybe try it just because it was very time consuming when I was using Vinted to manually do everything. And since I'm not like a big seller over there, I really wouldn't care, I guess, if I got banned. So I don't know, maybe I'll try it once they figure it out, get all the bugs out. But right now they're in beta and they have certain people testing that. I am also using a new video editing software because I normally had used, what is it called? Adobe Premiere Rush. And I used the free version forever. I think I maybe paid one time to like upgrade it. Well, I went in and I was trying to upload some high definition video for my Meta glasses and it was like, yeah, can't do it. And I'm like, what the heck? So I looked into it before when that would happen. I would upgrade to the paid version. Well, I guess Adobe is getting rid of this. So I was like, now I'm gonna have to learn something new. I did find, what is this one called? I wrote it down. Power Director 365. It's been pretty easy. I don't know if like I would have just started using it and had zero experience editing other things that it would have came as easy as it did. But this one has way more capabilities, a lot of different editing techniques and styles and stuff that I can do with it. So potentially some of the videos might be a little bit different, a little bit more fun. This one I do have to pay for. I did get some sort of deal. I paid for a year subscription. I don't know. So that is new, I guess. We'll get into it. I will scoot over and I will pop the images over here. So the first item is a Liz, was it Liz Claiborne or Liz Baker? Let me just look into the listing really quick. It's Liz Baker Essentials. This was a navy blue, blue-toned maxi skirt. I titled this one Vintage 90s Blue Tones Dark Boho Romantic Pull-On A-line maxi skirt size medium. This one took 4 months to sell and it did go for my full asking price of $25. Still on eBay, this was a vintage like acid washed jacket. This was from the brand, I don't know if it did have a brand here. Stefano International, never heard of it. It did have this funky like lace overlay on the top, like on the shoulders. And this one was a plus size. It was slightly cropped. I did title this one Vintage 80s 90s Acid Wash Lace Detail Cropped Trucker Jacket, plus size 22-24. This one went for $35 plus shipping. Over to Depop. This was from the brand Rockin' Town. I don't know what that is. This definitely looks like something that was sold at the Deb in like, I don't know, 2000. It had like a metallic purple, like zebra maybe print on it. And then it had like this little mesh overlay type thing in the front. Very emo, MySpace, that kind of stuff. I titled this one Vintage Y2K Rockin' Town Black Purple Sparkly Animal Print Homecoming Dress Extra Large. It was good that it was an extra large too. Normally I find these in really small sizes. This one I don't have how long it took to sell. I think it was maybe like a couple months and it did go for an offer of $32. Next is another one on Depop. This was a Birkenstock pair of sandals. I think I showed these in a ThredUp box. They were very small. They were 5.5. They had like a black strap, but then it almost had like a little bit of a silver design on it. These did not take long to sell. I think under a week, and they did go for $40. Back over to eBay, this was a pair of silver jeans, the Sookie short curvy fit shorts. These were new with tags, a size 22, so a plus size. Silver jeans, I don't know. I don't really look into them that often. If they're new with tags, I will. But other than that, I just don't really look into them because I haven't had luck with them. But since these were new with tags, shorts were in the summer season, I thought I would take a look. This ended up going on my 15% off sale. So they got them for like $22 plus shipping. And these took 4 months to sell. Back over to Depop, this was Maurice's top. This one went really, really quick. It was a black, like, baby doll type style. I titled this one Y2K Maurice's Black Semi-Sheer Baby Doll Going Out Grunge Goth Witchy Top Large. This is, like, the perfect silhouette for what the girls are looking for. Semi-sheer helps. If it has, like, any type of elevated accent to the baby doll look, that normally helps as well. This one I picked up at the bins. I actually think I showed you guys this at the bins not too long ago. This one sold, I think, within days, and it did go for $30 for just one little shirt. Over to eBay, this was a pair of Democracy jeans. I don't know that I'm really finding them that much anymore, so I can't really tell you if I'm picking them up a lot because I don't really remember even picking these up. But they were a booty lift straight in a size 14, a lot of stretch. It had that comfort waistband. These took 3 months to sell, and they did go for $25 plus shipping. Still on eBay, this was from Arizona. I think that sold at like JCPenney maybe. And this was just a bikini top. I have been trying that out this summer. I think that this, like, you know, kind of Paris Hilton style is very in right now. And she used to wear just like bikini tops with micro mini jean shorts, or not jean shorts, jean skirts. So I am trying that out. It's kind of like a skater girl type look as well. I titled this one Y2K Arizona Pink Orange Brown Halter tie up party beachy skater bikini top large. This one only took 20 days to sell, and it did go for $17 plus shipping for only a bikini top. So I do have some that are still sitting that maybe just are not desirable sizes or styles. I'm kind of slowing down on it just because I know we're just getting into summer, but I don't like to start picking up a lot of like very seasonal things once we're already in the season, if that makes sense. You know, dresses, skirts, that stuff can be prolonged into the fall, but most swimwear is going to stop probably selling by like July. So unless it's like something really good, I'm probably going to leave those behind. Over to Depop, Tracy, if you're watching this, I think you'll like these. These actually came in a Rag House box. It was like a quirky or funky or something like that. But they are Beetlejuice shorts. They were white and black striped. They had the little sandworm in like a neon embroidery. What size were these? I think like a medium. Size 7. And I don't think these took very long to sell, like 1 or 2 months. And they did go for an offer of $16. Over to Poshmark, this was a vintage fashion bug top, another baby doll cut for a top. This one I titled Vintage Y2K 90s Fashion Bug Orange Pink Tropical Floral Vacation Baby Doll Top. And this one was a larger size, 18-20. That normally helps. It did have a couple small snags on the back. This one took 1 month to sell for $20. Next is eBay. This was a really fun dress from Wet Seal. It was a teal and black plaid bubble hem, like dance party type dress, and it had, I think, a bow. Yeah, it tied in the back. This is essential MySpace emo girl. I don't know if that's who got it, but I could totally see a girl wearing this to homecoming with some chucks. And let's see, this one only took 1 month to sell, and it did go for $30 plus shipping. Again, this was a bins pickup. This was very, very lightweight, like probably 6 ounces. Over to Mercari, this was the brand, I don't know how to say this, it's MLLE, Malie Gabriel. It was a blue tiered pull-on skirt in a size extra large. I did put some keywords in there like midi, maxi, boho, western, broomstick. This one came from a Rag House skirt box. And this one took 1.5 months to sell for $22. Back over to eBay. This was a pair of heels that came out of a ThredUp box. I think it's LaRode. At first when I saw these, I was like, these are probably cheap. They're going to go to Plato's Closet. But I did look them up. They were suede. They had some straps on them. They were a 9.5 open toe. And comps were very surprising to me. These were a pair of used ones. They were in excellent condition, but they did go for $81 plus shipping, and they took 3 months to sell. Back over to Mercari. This was a pair of, let's see what the brand was on these. Z2 jeans. I don't know what that brand is. It definitely looks to be like Y2K, probably came from the Deb. These are those micro mini shorts. I have been selling them like hotcakes this summer. They are a size 5. I do normally put in there, if they have like those blingy type buttons and embellishments, I put McBling. I do normally use Bimbo Core. These took 1 month to sell for $18.75. Over to Poshmark. This is a scarf. I have been playing around with buying scarves, putting them in lots, selling them on their own. And they just really don't take up much space. So I am still buying them to sell just because they are so lightweight. This one had like a green and brown earthy tone design on it. I titled it Green Brown Goblin Core Fringe Woodsy Boho Multi-Wear Artsy Scarf. It measured to be about 70 inches. And this one took, where are we? 2 weeks to sell for $15. I know $15 is not a great price point for everybody, but like this scarf literally probably weighed 2 ounces. So I'm happy to move these. One little tip that I do have, if you have a mannequin, I showed different ways that you could wear it, just so somebody kind of has an idea that it wouldn't have to just be a scarf. This one could also kind of be like a shawl, like the photo I'm showing you. I showed it like a cover up where it's just kind of draped. So make sure to show that so people kind of have an idea of how else you could wear it. Over to eBay. This was a Tommy Hilfiger tan seersucker blazer in a size 16. Very preppy, very old money. Let's see. This one only took 1 month to sell for $25 plus shipping. Over to Depop. This was one of my favorite skirts that I've found in a while. It was from the brand N Touch. I think I picked this one up at Goodwill and paid the full $5.99 or whatever. I absolutely love the design on this. I titled it Vintage Y2K 90s Red Orange Groovy Hippie Flower Print Pull-On Maxi Skirt Large. I did also use funky, flower child, disco, quirky. This one, we're on Depop. I don't know how long it took to sell. I can't really remember, but it did go for $30 plus shipping. Back over to eBay. This was a pair of Prana pants. I feel like I have a hit or miss relationship with Prana. It's like some things I pick up, they sell right away, and other things sit forever. So I don't know if I need to just be a little bit more diligent and looking at the sizes and maybe the colors. But this was a pair of Prana women's, the Haley roll-up nylon hiking pants in a size 10. These only took 2 weeks to sell for $25 plus shipping. Back over to Poshmark. This was another one of those J. Crew crew cut blazers. I talked about this in my last What Sold video. I picked up 3 of them that same day. They also sold almost immediately. This one was just navy blue, and I think it might have been wool. No, this one was cotton, in a boy's size 12. This only took 5 days to sell for $30. Back over to Depop. This was a vintage Y2K top. I think it was from Susan something. Yeah, Susan Lawrence. I titled this one Vintage Y2K Grunge Fairy Boxy Abstract Print Sequence Top Size Large. I also put art to wear and abstract in the description. I don't know how long this one I've had. I feel like this one might have been around for a little while, but this one sold for my full asking price of $28 plus shipping. Still on Depop, this was Hollister size 1 in that micro mini length skirt. This one I did use Bimbo Core, Spears and Hilton for Britney Spears, Paris Hilton, Kesha, Party and Distressed, and I don't know how long this one took to sell, but it did go for $22. Over to eBay. These also came in a ThredUp shoebox. They were from White Mountain. I didn't think they were going to sell going into the summer, but they did. They were a leather, like, clog, I guess you could say. They kind of looked like the Birkenstock clogs. They were a size women's 12, and they only took 1 month to sell for $35 plus shipping. Back over to Poshmark. This was a parsley and sage top. This one was new with tags, and it took forever to sell, over a year. I did put in the description, abstract print, quirky, art to wear, plus size, had that asymmetrical look to it. I don't know, maybe this just was not a style that people were looking for. It did sell for $20, but I definitely don't want something sitting around for over a year that's only going for $20. This was a bundle sale on Poshmark. It was from the brand Lepogue. I don't know how to say that. It was a black kind of like grungy goth skirt that came from Rag House Skirt Box, and then a Lane Bryant like mesh overlay top that I picked up at the bins. These two both went for $58. This was a Flying Tomato dress. I don't really pick up a lot from this brand. I think it had like its popularity time, like 2020, 2021 maybe. But this one was really cute. It reminded me of like a brunch type dress. That's why I picked it up and I thought I would give it a try. It was in excellent condition. So I titled this one Flying Tomato Pink Green Floral Tie Belt Romantic Brunch Cute Girly Dress Large. I did also put in there that it had accordion pleated in the skirt, garden party. This one took 5 months to sell for $23. Back over to eBay, this was a pair of Skechers sandals. Skechers is one of those brands where they can sell really quickly or they can sit forever. So I make sure to look up the exact style with the size and potentially the color just to see how it's selling. These were the Arch Fit Go Walk 2.0, and then they were in like a beige with a little bit of a sparkle detail, size 9. These took 9 months to sell, but I would have picked them up like at the end, kind of like going into fall, which makes sense. People probably were not looking for sandals in the summer, but they did go for $30 plus shipping. This was a new to me brand that I found at the bins. It was called Good Good Golf, and it's a women's polo. It had like a dark, I don't even know what you want to call it. I guess they're like flowers. And this one was in excellent condition. I'm glad that I looked into it and didn't just leave it, because this one only took 1 week to sell for $25 plus shipping. Back over to eBay, this was a Prana one-piece swimsuit in a size large. It kind of had like an interesting back where it tied, but it was also kind of like a halter deal. This one did take 5 months to sell for $20. Still on Poshmark, this was a pair of Chico's pinstriped pants. This took over 2 years to sell. So this was at my $10 mark. That's how I'm clearancing out items. They were a size 2.5, which is equivalent to about a 14. I don't know. I think that they were really cute. Pinstripe was kind of having a moment, but I guess I just couldn't find the right buyer because, like I said, these took over 2 years to sell for $10. Still on Poshmark, this was a Maurice's dress in a long sleeve, like green, sparkly, holiday type style dress. I didn't expect this to sell in the summer. I thought this would sell closer to Christmas. Some keywords that I put in here, Christmas, holiday, long sleeve, tiered, midi, dance, church, 2X, modest, holiday. And this one took 1 month to sell for $20. Still on Poshmark, this was a Lulu's dress. I don't really pick up a lot of Lulus, and if I do, it goes to Plato's or ThredUp. But if it has something that's a little bit more unique, then I will look into selling it myself. This one had like a trumpet style. It had also like this, I don't even know what you want to call it, like an applique overlay, I guess you could call it. And this one was in a size medium. Some keywords I used here, let's see. Ruffle, trumpet, hem, back zip, party, wedding guest, ball, gala, cute, bombshell, vixen, lace trim. And this one took 5 months to sell for $40. So a little bit longer than I would have liked. Back over to eBay, this was a Title IX tankini top in a size large. It did have some padding in it and this really like vibrant neon print. And this one took 1 month to sell for $20 plus shipping. Over to Depop, this was a Johnny Was knit duster kimono type deal in a size, I measured it to be about a size large. It didn't have the size tag. This was the weirdest thing because I picked this up at the bins and like it had already gone through a whole day rotation. If you're new to the channel, my bins only rotate Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I would have been there like, let's say a Tuesday. So it had a whole day of people looking at stuff. And I came in, I was looking, and then once I made it to another bin, this was literally just laying, like draped on the top. Nobody else was there but me. And I was like, how is this possible that this Johnny Was cardigan is just laying here? So obviously I picked it up. I don't know how long it took to sell. I don't think it was very long. It did have quite a bit of attention all over, and it kind of surprised me that it sold on Depop. So kind of opens my mind that maybe there are, you know, more Depop seller or buyers out there that are looking for things other than style based. But I was definitely happy to take $40 for something that I found at the bins. Back over to eBay. This was from the brand Lorelei. I know I had this listed too high, but I just absolutely loved it the way that it looked. It had, I don't know what you call it. Is it the basque waist or is this like a drop waist? You'll have to look at the picture and let me know. But I titled this one Vintage Lorelei Floral Cottagecore Back Zip Up Trad Wife Dainty Dress Size 4. And this one took over a year to sell for $45. I think I had this originally listed like upwards of $80 just because of certain comps I had seen over a year ago. We've talked about this before. So I went in and dropped the price and somebody got it for $45 plus shipping. The next couple are from Depop. This was another one of those like hippie boho festival type of belts. I am picking these up at the bins or for $1.99 at Goodwill. This one, I don't remember how long it took to sell, but it did go for $20. Still in Depop, this was a pair of Roxy shorts, like Y2K ones. This athletic style where they're like micro mini has been also doing pretty well for me. There was a stain on here that I couldn't quite get out, but I just absolutely love the colorway on this and the design. These did not take long to sell, and they did go for my full asking price of $22. And then another one on Depop, this was from the brand Eyelash. I don't know, this was probably like a Shopko brand or something, maybe Kohl's. And this was just like a semi-sheer top. It had some lace detail. It buttoned in the front. I titled this one Eyelash Baby Pink Semi-Sheer Feminine Girly Cottage Short Sleeve Top Size Extra Large. This one went for my full asking price of $18, and I don't think this one took very long to sell either. And then the last item I am showing you guys for this video is on eBay. I'm pretty sure I showed this in a haul. It's from the brand Candy Rain. That really didn't mean much to me. I was more looking at the back graphic. In the front, it was just like a cascading black cardigan. And then on the back, it had these big angel wings that had a bunch of like studs and like sparkly stuff all over it. So I titled this one Candy Rain Black Plus Size Big Angel Wings Make Bling Biker Open Front Cardigan 3X. And this one only took 1 week to sell for $25 plus shipping. So this one even surprised me. I didn't think it was going to go that quickly, but definitely happy to see. So as far as sales have been going, I feel like this last week, I'm filming this on June 10th. This last week has been pretty dead, especially Poshmark. Like Poshmark has normally been pretty busy for me. Depop has been busy for me, but I am letting like a lot of stuff go for pretty cheap over there, just to get it out. And people are definitely doing a lot of lowballing over there because of the free shipping. They want it like literally as cheap as they can get it. But I'm not letting everything go. Just like the stuff that I have for 10, I'll let it go for 8 because the fees are not as much over there and it's gone. So if you're a Depop seller, let me know how that's going with the free shipping. Have you noticed increase in sales at all? I don't know how long that's going to last. I hope it's forever, but I doubt it. I can't imagine that that would be sustainable for them. So I guess we'll see what happens there. But as always, if you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure to give it a like. It really helps out the channel and I really appreciate it. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.